how M-World came together. What happened for me was I was working in an environmental management area, and we particularly wanted to support students working in groups towards the end of the environmental management modules and provide some sense of, well, what is it to be part of a team or part of a group. Mm-hmm. Now at the same time I was also very influenced by people like Sam Harris and his writings on waking up. This idea that, you know, we're in our own heads all the time, but what are we in our own heads and how are we learning and how are we interacting with each other? So this idea of M-World was, it's my world, but we all live in my world. Everyone individually lives in my world. And the one person that's absent from my world is me, because I'm the eyes looking out at my world. So my world is just the same as your my world, but your my world's got me in it, and my world's got you in it, and we're absent in our own worlds. I thought that's an interesting conundrum just to think about. So if we're going to have shared world, we need to bring each other into each other's worlds, which to some extent is also waking us up in our own worlds for ourselves, in a sense. So I thought there's without getting too philosophical about it, there's a really interesting conundrum here. That if I want to work well with you, you have to experience me as working well with you, and vice versa. Because I don't experience me most of the time, unless I'm a very refined Buddhist reflective practitioner, in which case maybe I do experience myself and feel more. But generally speaking, we are known by the wake we create as we pass through life. I thought that's a neat way of getting to the message of how do we talk about the whole notion of working collaboratively. So M-World and S-World became this little essay, which, as I said, it appears right at the end of the comic. You have the Dante figure just sitting down there, and then a series of speech bubbles, and this little story is told about M-World and S-World. But it's the end point, and yet it was the beginning of the whole story. So from my point of view, and please come in, but I mean, from my point of view, there was this idea that there was a need, first of all, a growing need in our teaching and in our learning to help people work together in groups. There was this idea that we're strangers to ourselves, and that therefore it's quite obvious it's going to be difficult working with other people. Therefore there was an idea of a little essay or story which set out M-World and S-World, and then that had to be visualised into a comic.
It's a complicated idea to try and get across or get people to think about in a very short graphic introduction. But I think we did quite a good job, didn't we? We had we came up with some good visual solutions to how you get people to think about the fact that you seem to be a sort of like an audience or a spectator in your own life a lot of the time.